Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone. Welcome back to today's seminars of English language teachings. My name is Merdiana Nawangsi, and I'll be your moderator for these sessions. Before we start, let me quickly go over today's agenda. We will begin with a brief introductions of our speakers, followed by their presentations. After that, we'll open the floor for questions and discussions. Finally, we'll conclude with some closing. Now, let me introduce our speakers for today. There are Alya Kamila and Fibryna Nugroho. Without further ado, I'll hand it over to Phoebe and Alya for their presentations. Time and screen is yours.
Okay, thank you kindly moderators. So here are our topic. We are from group 16 of class 6C. With our topic is From Novel to Own Stories, the perception of novel readers on the influence of novel stories to their writing skills. All right, so here are our background. So reading and writing is one of the basic literacy skills that has a broad impact on a person's academic ability and creativity. One form of reading that is widely demanded is novels, which not only provide entertainment but also offer broad insights. So on an online survey deducted on Snapchat in 2024, as you can see the picture on the right side of the presentation, showing results that young people in Indonesia around the age 15 until 25 picked novel as the highest rank in types of books they likes to read, which shows positivity of novel in helping students to improve their writing skills by the habit from reading novels. But however, from the chart of the survey above, the number of people using novel as the media to read is still lacks in today's era. Students tend to use technology more often than printed materials such as novels. In addition, research on the influence of reading habits on writing problems in English education students is still minimum. This is according to Mergen and Kasimova. And while there are a wide range of benefits to reading novels, including potential improvements in writing skills, it can be challenging to persuade individuals who do not have an interest in using novels to engage with it. So, and the last one is the exploration of the genre of the novel itself. It's quite monotone, making the reader get bored easily, which is these 4 points are our research gap. So the study seeks to explore novel readers' perceptions on the influence of reading novels can affect their writing skills, moreover on their ability to create their own stories. This study aims to determine whether novels readers believe that reading novels can improve their writing skills and what factors they consider important in this process. This information is important to identify the most effective way to encourage and support novel readers' writing skills. And here are the points, the purpose of our paper, as well as the formulation. So for the purpose, it would analyze the influence of the use of novels as a media on enhancing students' writing skills, identify factors that motivate students to read novels and their relationship to writing interests, examine the challenges students face in reading novels and strategies for improving writing skills, and then examine the perception from novel reader on how novel could be more attractive compared to other forms of media in the current era, as well as here are the formulations. So how does reading novels help students understand story structure and incorporate that to their writing skills? And then what factors motivate students to read novels and how do they relate to writing interests? What are the challenges students face in reading novels and the strategies, as well as how can the use of novel as the media be more attractive to other forms of media? All right, so for the literature review, I hand it over to Alia.
Okay, thank you, Phoebe. Literature review from novel Reis Palupi et al. 2021 state that a novel is a book that has a plot, cultural background, social background, character, and has a lot of vocabulary. Novels typically include a plot, dialogue, description, and characterization, and can be classified into genre like romance, tragedy, comedy, and science fiction. And the second is the connection between reading novels with writing skill. According to Maula 2015, many students found that to learn how to write, students need to read. By reading, they could increase their vocabulary and their confidence in writing as well. Good readers become better writers and creative thinkers. Karuna and Navaratne 2023. By allowing readers to spend time in the world of a book and get immersed in the stories, reading novels can also help writers create more detailed and immersive stories in their own writing. The third is preview study. Crescent 2016 state that a person does not learn to write just by writing, but by reading. He emphasized that reading and writing have a close relationship both simultaneously and in the long term. Mazar Hamed 2021 also find in his study analyzed students' views of the novel significant in the development of writing abilities, which show positive results, and the writer in the end of research suggests English programs directors can take into account students' knowledge of the novel's role in developing writing skill while planning courses aimed at increasing students' language proficiency. Okay, next slide. And this research methodology, the first is research design. This study uses a descriptive qualitative method to explore novel readers' perception of writing skill. A basic interpretative approach is applied. The research used this type because this research focuses on the perception of novel readers and how it will influence their writing skill. Second is research sample and population. This study used purposive sampling by selecting 8 of 6 semester English students at Untirta who actively read novels and have an interest in writing. This sample was chosen because of their experience in interpreting tools into writing and their high-level literacy skill. Gay et al. 2000 Data collection. The instrument used for data collection is interviews. According to Rutledge and Hogg 2020, an in-depth interview is one of many qualitative research techniques used to gather data on the subjective experience of participants. Okay, next slide. And now is finding and discussion. The first research question aimed to explore how reading novels helps students understand story structure and how they apply them in their writing. The findings revealed that reading novels allows students to understand narrative structures such as exposition, conflicts, climax, and resolution, as well as observe character development and writing style. This understanding is then reflected in their own creative writing. Reading also supports the fluency of ideas, vocabulary variety, and ability to construct a coherent storyline. The participant one said, I've seen a lot of tropes that I like and put it in my own story, using it to add life to my own characters. Reading inspired her to write fanfiction, original stories, and a cultural sort by title Batik for You and Me. And participant X said, to create believable character development and plot, I take it from real life or things familiar to readers so everything can resonate. Reading helped her create meaningful characters and realistic plot. She published the Pelsan fanfiction and is writing an original series Slime Si Peri Jentaka. This response showed that reading novels is not just passive consumption, but a process that trains students to produce structured, meaningful, and emotionally rich writing. Okay, next slide. Okay, the second research question aimed to explore the motivation behind students' interest in reading novels and how those motivations relate to their desire to write. Motivations play a vital role in shaping students' engagement with novels. Findings show that curiosity, emotional connection, and personal relatability were dominant motivators. These internal drivers often become the foundation for creative expression, inspiring students to begin writing their own story. Participant 6, her interest in reading began after watching a film adaptation, sparking curiosity about the full story. Participant 6 say, I saw a film adapted from a novel, which I thought was very exciting, and then I became curious about the story in the novel. Participant 7 say it was a mix of craving adventure and finding an emotional connection that I don't always get in real life. Emotional connection to the story and characters deepened her motivation to read and led inspired her to write. This insight affirmed that when students emotionally resonate with stories or characters, reading becomes meaningful and often becomes the first step toward writing creatively. Okay, back to Phoebe.
Okay, thank you, Alia. So now we're heading to the third research question, which is aiming to explore what are the challenges students face in reading novels and what strategies can be used to enhance their writing skills. So we have conducted data from eight participants, and for this third research question, we categorized them into three challenges as well as come up with the strategies. So here are the first one, which is participants that have challenges with difficult words. So here are some of the excerpt of the participants. From participant 2 said that when I read English novels, the difficulties in the language use is in that novels. Sometimes I felt difficult to understand the meaning of the words or the vocabulary difficulties that I faced during the novel reading. But how I try to overcome from that is I try to take notes to those difficult words. So if you want to improve your writing skills by reading, the only advice that I can say is try to force yourself to continue to reading. And then from participant 5 said that there are a lot of words that I don't understand, so it makes me have to search first. What does this word means? But it actually broadened my horizons. I'm searching, so I want to know what it means. Then how to solve it so that you can further encourage development, skills, reading, and writing. How to solve it is keep trying, and you can also ask your friends, or if you have a friend who has read the novel, maybe you can ask them. And then from participant 8, I think most readers have these nagging feelings, more like an obligatory feeling to finish what we read. So I usually incorporate that feeling so I can finish reading. Pick a genre that you like, that resonates with you, especially if you want to be a writer to improve writing skills. So her advice is to write more, write short stories, read more, and utilize writing assisting tools like Grammarly, etc. Also, go meet people who share the same interests, share your knowledge, and learn more. Learn about how to write stories like outlining, plotting, etc. So, from the argument from the participants who have challenges with difficult words, all of them also give solutions on how they address the issue, which we could take from the excerpt, such as write down the difficult words and try to look for the meaning in the dictionary. Moreover, novel readers, especially those who want to improve their writing skills, for example, correcting the grammar, could use assisting tools like Grammarly, etc. Avoid to giving a lot of pressure during the process is needed. That is why increasing motivation also one of the strategies mentioned on how to improve writing skills, because motivation could come for example, sharing with friends who have the same interests, and despite giving motivation from sharing it could also earn knowledge more about writing, like from styles, character development, story plot, and others. Here are the second one, which is the participants who have challenge with distraction like phones, game, etc. And here are some of the excerpts from P1 says that these days I found myself preferring video games over novels. So um, the participant said that all he needs is something to cater his interest and he will consume that media. Though his solution is that pick something that you like. Don't read what bores you. If you read something you are truly invested in, you'll be experiencing a magical world you didn't know exists. From that reference, it could be incorporated to your further writing. And then from P6, the main point is that don't force yourself to read heavy stories. Maybe it can help to increase our desire to read and motivation to start writing our own stories. And from participant 7 said that um, her big challenge is distraction from phones, college stress, too many other hobbies. And her solution is that grabs if you want to write, try to pay attention to the part that you like in the book. Why does it feel exciting or touching? From there, you can learn and be inspired to create your own writing. So, from the argument from the participants who have challenged with distractions, all of them give solutions on how they address the issue, which we could take from the excerpt, such as choosing the type of book of genre with self preference, from the participants' answer, interest is playing a big role in influencing the motivation to read as well as to write. Other strategies are self comfort and places. Resting from mobile phones is needed, especially in this current era that almost every people always have their hands on phone. Meanwhile, Crash Out Academy on their webpage is said that at least in a day we need to read, with 10 benefits people could get, and one of the benefits is being able to improve their writing skills and broaden their vocabulary. And here are the last one, which is the participants who have challenges with boredom. The participant 4 said by her solution is that to simply take a break and come back with a fresh mind. And from the argument from participant 4 who have challenged with boredom, the solution is that we could take a break and come back with a fresh mind so that reading novels could be more intense and more engaging. And we're moving on to the last and fourth research question, which is aimed to explore how to use novels to be how can the use of novel be media that more attractive compared to other media in the current era, with the fact that genre of novel is quite monotonous. So based on the research from the excerpt above, all the participants indicates that the genre of novels should explore more, such as because in Indonesian market only consists only a few genres such as romance, horror, and comedy. The more variations of genre and the more improved quality of novels could help to increase the interest level from people to start reading novels, especially to those who have want to improve their writing skills. And publishers further can experiment with different genres or even create new genres that do not exist at the moment, bringing more folklore, sci-fi, and fantasy. Also, for the genre slice of life that brings up family and cozy settings and storyline, which are still underrepresented or missing in the current novel market. All right, that's all from me. I would hand back again to the moderator.
All right, thank you, Phoebe and Alia, for that amazing presentations. Now it's time to open the Q&A sessions. Please raise your hand if you have questions, and I will call on you in order.
May I ask a question?
Okay, please, Viryal.
Okay, in the current era of digital literacy, many young people tend to prefer reading fan fiction or short stories on platforms like Wattpad rather than reading printed novels. So, in your opinion, does reading these types of text have the same, better, or perhaps even worse effects on writing skills compared to reading classical or popular literature, and how does this relate to the findings in your research? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Firial. Anyone else who have a questions?
May I?
Yes, please, Rifa.
Okay. My name is Rifa Kamila, and I'd like to ask, so from your research showing that by reading novel, it can inspire the readers so they can write, right? But from inspire, it's not guaranteed enough for the quality of their writings. So my question is, how far do you guys think the inspire from novel can construct writing skill that's not considered as copying style from other writers? Okay, that's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Rifa and Firial, for the questions. I'll give the questions to the Phoebe and Alia.
Yeah, I will answer for your question. That's a very relevant and important question. In our research, most participants referred to printed novels, but were fully aware that digital platforms like Wattpad are becoming increasingly popular. Reading in any form can certainly inspire reading and help develop creatively. However, when it comes to structure, language quality, and depth of themes, professionally edited novels such as classical literature or published fiction tend to offer strong models for writing. Many online stories may lack this editorial rigor, so while digital reading can be beneficial, especially for engagement and accessibility, we believe it should be balanced with exposure to high quality literature to ensure reading development is not limited to imitation or superficial style. Okay.
Okay, I would like to answer a question from Rifa, which is, how far do you guys think the inspire from novel can construct writing skills that not considered as copying styles from other writers? So that's right. Inspiration and quality are two different things. In our interview, some participants did state that they initially imitate and got inspired the style from their favorite authors. However, over time and experience, they began to find their own writing style. This is where diverse reading and consistent writing practice are important. Novels provide examples, but systematic writing skills still need to be on. Through reflection, formal learning, and revision. So, inspiration is the starting point, but learning and practice are what makes it develop into a solid skills. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Phoebe and Alia, for the great answer. Before we close, to Phoebe and Alia, to read the conclusions. For Phoebe and Alia, time and screen is yours.
Okay, so we come to conclude our research. So all the finding revealed that there was a positive impact of novel reading and on writing skills among the participants. The results of this study, based on the data collected from participants, showed that reading novels positively influenced their writing skills. All participants noted that reading novels helped them to develop a better understanding of plot structures and character development, which has been proven to be significant. Some evidence also showed from the participants a writing creation of making short stories, fan fiction incorporated in assignments, which really proved the positive impact from reading novels and how it improved writing skills. Moreover, there were various factors that motivate participants to read novels for the first time, such as curiosity, escape from reality, and personal growth, which were also reflected in their responses. Despite the presence of challenges and obstacles, such as difficult words, distraction, and boredom, most participants found strategies to engage and keep focus, such as setting goals and taking breaks. Furthermore, it was observed that there was an underrepresented genre in the market, with most participants enjoying fantasy and sci-fi novels. This research has provided valuable insights into the influence of novel reading on their writing skills and the various factors that drove participants to read novel for the first time, despite the challenges they face. It has also shown the importance of setting goals and taking breaks to stay focused and engaged while reading, and provides tips for readers who might be struggling. Thank you, Panda. I'll give back to the moderator.
All right, thank you, Phoebe and Alia, for the great presentations. And also thank you all for your participation and engagement in today's seminar sessions. We hope you found these seminars informative and useful, and we look forward to seeing you at our next sessions. Have a great day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.